is time. My God, we thought there was a lot going on last week. You already know where to find us on social media. I'm not even going to get into that. Let's just get to the news, and just in case while recording something breaks, but let's just get right after it.
News and notes from the league.
Well, it's official. We talked about it last week, thinking it was a pipe dream. It's no longer a pipe dream. It is within reach. We are officially on Odell Beckham Jr. watch in Titletown. I was shocked to see it, and then I thought it was a leverage play. Now I am giddy and refreshing my Twitter in a very unhealthy fashion. So, Dustin, you have been the biggest of the opposition. You have been very vocal about you not wanting Odell Beckham in the green and gold.
Real Scrooge-like.
Exactly. You don't like fun, and now fun might happen. We don't really know. So, if you haven't heard, according to Diana Rossini of ESPN this morning, he was quote-unquote honing in, for whatever that, take that for what it's worth, on Green Bay, New Orleans, and Kansas City. And as of this afternoon, the Patriots and Seahawks are also involved. Now, to what extent each team is or who's the front runner, no one really knows. It was reported yesterday by Jordan Schultz that the Packers are his preferred destination. Devontae Adams has been recruiting him. I've seen reports that Aaron Rodgers has been recruiting. So, Dustin, we're on Beckham watch. Where are you at as an anti-Beckham person?
You guys are being so dramatic about this whole thing. I said, okay, listen.
Why
I
dramatic?
I don't like the guy as a person, okay? I think he's kind of an idiot, but at the same time, he's a good football player. There's no denying that. It's hard denying that he's not better than Lazard or MVS. That is 100% true. But, I mean, like I said, the problem I have with him is his personality and what kind of Odell Beckham are you going to get? So, I mean, obviously, if we can get him for a cheap deal, I say why not? But if he's going to want more money, go somewhere else, that's his choice. That's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Well, the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel this afternoon reported that Green Bay has an offer on the table. It is for the veteran minimum. So, and it doesn't sound like they might adjust, but as of right now, it sounds like that's probably where it's going to be around, which makes sense. So, Alec, what exactly are you thinking? Because we, in our group chat today, I was crazy Twitter guy sending a bunch of tweets in all different directions. So, Alec, if you could unmute your microphone, because I would love to hear. There you go. I would love to hear your opinions on this because I think you align with what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So, some of us like to share tweets. Some of us just, originate our own tweets. And so I was doing some real live reporting throughout the day. I don't know if anybody saw that, but I was out there getting in the mines, really, really pushing it here. Now, I see a comment in the group chat calling him a locker room cancer. I see some people calling him drama queens. What I like to point out here is that we extended him an offer for the league minimum, which Alex already said. Now, if he were to accept this offer and come and play in Green Bay for that league minimum, granted, he is getting an extra $4 million per year or for the rest of the year from Cleveland. But if he accepts an offer for league minimum, doesn't that solidify that he cares more about winning football games than he does about anything else? That seems like the exact right fit for this squad. It's a gritty bunch of dudes who have a lot of emotion. Sure, his emotions are high. Sure, he punches a hole in the wall every now and again. He kicks over a kicking net. That's fine. But guess what? If that means that he's going to care enough to help us win some football games, I'm all for it. Let's get the ball rolling. And Alex, I apologize for last week me saying that it wasn't possible for him to come, that there'd be no way.
I didn't think it was possible. I said pipe dream. I wasn't kidding.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to be wrong. Really happy to be wrong.
Oh, for sure. And here's the other thing too. apparently, I am, from what I've been reading on Twitter, again, it's been an unhealthy obsession for 2 days. It's going to be, he's going to either take money or he's going to want to contend, as you said in your tweet and just on the show. If he is really looking to win and rebuild his legacy, then looking at all of the teams interested, he can do that in Green Bay. He can do that in Kansas City. He could probably do it in Seattle, although that seems like an odd fit to me. And New England, just because of the Belichick thing, I guess it's possible. But he also wants to apparently play with an elite quarterback. That ain't Mac Jones. So I'm really confused as to what he wants. And as of this actually, as of about an hour before recording, Ian Rappaport came out and said it's going to be a few days. So this morning it was, could be a decision today. And an hour ago it was, well, not so fast. Let's hang on a second, because that's actually not the case. He's going to take his time. And I don't blame him. He's got to figure out what place is going to give him the best option to rebuild his image, I guess, because right now everyone looks at him as a meh player. And you could make a hell of a good argument for, yeah, he's just meh. But if you're asking whatever you think of him, he is a superstar talent. He might not be a superstar player, but he is definitely a talent. You put him as your number 2 outside of Adams. Okay, now Lazard and MVS are your 3 and 4. That makes me feel better. I don't know what, and maybe it's just the name. It could just be the name. I like names. I like transactions. It's always fun. But, man, if they could somehow pair him, and who knows, it would not shock me if we wake up tomorrow and he signs with New England or Kansas City or New Orleans. I mean, how many times have we seen? We did this 2 weeks ago with Stephon Gilmore. We were like, oh, hey, let's go, Stephon Gilmore. And then 2 hours later, Panthers got him. Oh, okay, cool, sure. So I guess we'll see. And I have reported everything, or I've regurgitated everything I've seen reported. So that's where we stand. It's going to be a couple days. So even if he were to sign with Green Bay, it's sure as hell ain't going to be this week. But speaking of people who might be available this week, David Bakhtiari has been elevated to the active roster. He could play Sunday. Not a guarantee, but he's now eligible to play Sunday, as well as Aaron Rodgers. We're on Aaron Rodgers' watch as well. He seems to be working out. He was on McAfee's show again yesterday, I believe, if that's right. But he said he's starting to work out. He's starting to feel it a little bit, test himself a little bit. So it sure sounds like he's going to be going Sunday if he's cleared. So Dustin, with Rodgers back in the fold, and maybe Bakhtiari, and I didn't even mention the other side, Russell Wilson's going to be back this week. So this went from oh God, this game's going to kind of suck to, there might be some fireworks here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting seeing him have him. Obviously, Bakhtiari, not seeing him and, how long, if he comes back, good. Obviously, it can't hurt us. That's for sure. But, we'll see. I mean, if they want to rest Bakhtiari another week or two, I wouldn't be upset about it. It's not like we absolutely need him right now, but definitely doesn't hurt. And hopefully Rodgers comes back and does what he does best. But, yeah, as much as this sounds bad, I'm excited to see Russell Wilson on the back in the field again. Obviously, it makes for a better matchup, better game. That's all I got to say about it, really.
So we have a closeted Bears fan on the podcast in Alex, and now it sounds like we have a closeted Seahawks fan in Dustin. I'll tell you what, for the sake of a good game, sure, it'll be nice to have Wilson back on the field, but I was kind of looking forward to seeing my boy Geno Smith back there. I really miss Geno. I was a big Geno guy coming out of college, and I was kind of looking forward to it. What?
Why?
Because everybody doubted him. He was the underdog. He's kind of like the lockdown corner. I mean, I'm seeing chirps everywhere saying that, the lockdown corner isn't breaking news as fast as other podcasts. That ain't true, first and foremost. But second off, I like the underdog, man. That's what I like to see. I like to see Geno out there. Plus, it would have been nice to get the easy dub. But with Bach, man, I love Bakhtiari. Obviously, he is a phenomenal player. It would be nice to be able to move Elgie. For people who don't know, I'm talking about Elgton Jenkins. But it'd be nice to be able to move Elgie back to left guard where he belongs and have Bakhtiari there. I mean, realistically, is there a better left side of the line in the league than
No.
Elgton Jenkins and David Bakhtiari? Man, I can't wait to see that. With Dylan now, too. Dylan emerging. Let's talk about that, guys. Who saw A.J. Dillon being this good this year?
Dustin, apparently.
Yeah, you remember early in the season I said it was a Derrick Henry 2.0, and you guys said, "Oh no, you're an idiot, you're a lunatic."
Well, to be fair, you also said that Jordan Love was going to be Patrick Mahomes. And actually,
who played better on Sunday?
I was going to say, we're going to get to that in a minute, but we owe you an apology because you know what? He wasn't Patrick Mahomes on Sunday. He was better than statistically, but we'll get into that in a minute. The A.J. Dillon thing, I've really been enjoying, although I do wish he was a little more explosive because even, I believe it was a swing pass that Love had to the outside. It was like, oh, he's got daylight. And I know he's fast for a human being, but as a football player, it kind of looked like, I kind of wish Jones caught that ball because he was a little faster. But A.J. Dillon has been awesome. Their whole running game has been awesome. And I mean, well, let's not delay it. Let's play the imaging and let's just get into this week's, if I can find the imaging. There it is. Let's get into this week's.
What just happened?
Time to roll back the tape. Here's this week's Game Rewind.
All I want to know if you got your popcorn ready.
So, I mean, we've already touched on it. The imaging just is helpful for the podcast listeners who are not watching our live stream on YouTube. Subscribe, like, rate, review. But the Jordan Love thing, the A.J. Dillon thing, it all kind of ties together. And that sounds dumb because it sounds obvious. But the offensive line, this is what I wanted to get to with my previous point. A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones ran really well against that Kansas City team. You want to know why? The offensive line was doing great stuff in the running game. They were blocking downhill. There were lanes everywhere. It was awesome. The other side, holy Christ. Dustin, you're an offensive lineman, so I want to get your perspective on this specifically. Royce Newman started really good this year. He was getting annihilated. He couldn't pick up a blitz. He didn't know. There was at one point, Tyrann Mathieu literally just ran right by him, and he just like turned around and looked like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm not like. He was awful. I think it's time to bench him. This is a couple games in a row now, but I mean, you are a collegiate lineman. You know a lot more about offensive line play than most people. What did you see out of that offensive line on Sunday?
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. Like you said, the run game was, I mean, that was really good. I mean, you see them just blowing up guys downfield, getting movement, and then you go to the pass pro. I mean, they're just kind of all over the place. They miscommunications. Clearly, they're not talking enough because Royce Newman's looking. He has no idea where the hell he's supposed to be blocking, and so he just kind of lets someone right on through because he thinks it's someone else's lane. You know, it's just ugly with the pass blocking. I mean, obviously, you know, the calling didn't help them out with all the blitzing and just them not bringing an extra guy to block. I mean, you can't block 6 with 5. You know, it's just not possible. So it was ugly. It was really ugly. Just not talking, and then play calling, just not helping them out either.
I will say that you said something in there that is completely false, and I can prove it because you proved it this last Saturday when I was at your game. You blocked 2 people, and you were 1 person. So, ergo, you can block 6 with 5. Granted, not everybody is as gorilla-like as a Dustin Bergny, per se. Any hoozles, though. Royce Newman, he hasn't been amazing. Let's get that right. You know, he hasn't been amazing, but I don't think that he's somebody that needs to be cut. I think that he's just somebody that is a depth bringer. I mean, he's somebody that if a guy got hurt during a game, he could be a decent 6-man to come off the bench, get a couple pancakes for you. You know, he's not a starter for sure, but Dustin said it pretty well. They were blitzing a lot. And when you've got a young guy like that who isn't necessarily starter quality anyway, he's really going to struggle when the teams are bringing as much heat as KC did. And they brought a lot of heat.
So funny you mentioned that, because I have some stats that I saw on Twitter, and I didn't get the names of the people who tweeted it. So apologies to them, although this is just general knowledge at this point. So the Jordan Love experience, as you just brought up, let's just get into it. Kansas City blitzed 48% of the time on that's all their offensive snaps. 48%. That is outrageously high. Okay, let's start there. Jordan Love himself had a free rusher. Okay, so someone coming unblocked towards him. Nobody touched the pass rusher is basically what this means. There was a free rusher on 14 of his 34 dropbacks. That is wild. 14 free rushers. Okay, fine. Let's get into the numbers of when he was blitzed. When he was blitzed, he went 6 of 17 for 30 yards. Not great. I mean, my guy, Justin Fields, I mean, he couldn't, that was a headline last week. Was that 2 weeks? It doesn't really matter. He was having trouble reading the blitz. Young quarterbacks do this. This isn't news. But guess what? When Jordan Love had a clean pocket, he was 13 of 17 with 160 yards. Like, oh, stunning. When you give a young quarterback time and he can go through his progression and see everything, oh, wow, it's a totally different quarterback. I just want to shout out the national media. Dustin and I were talking about this off air before we started. It has been a train wreck. Yes, I am a Packer fan. I am biased. Yes, I want Jordan Love to be the best quarterback in the history of the Green Bay Packers. I think everybody does. But the media saying, oh, he sucks. He doesn't have it. I get it. We're all a little disappointed. We were looking for something. I get that. We were looking for that, like, it moment. Like, oh, I see that now. And that fourth quarter, he looked really good. Special teams let this team down. It was not Jordan Love. The defense was awesome. They were lights out. But what are you supposed to do when you have an opportunity twice to get the ball back, once to run it back, but you dropped it? Luckily, he got it back. I'm looking at you, Amari Rodgers. And the other one, just a flat-out drop. Kansas City gets the ball at the 10. I mean, and Kansas City's offense is broken. I think that's what we learned this past week. Green Bay played great, but they are broken. Anyway, I'm talking a lot, so I'm going to pass the baton here to Dustin because you haven't talked in a while. But it's unbelievable how the media has just basically said, you know what? Nah, Jordan Love doesn't have it. We're going to judge his kid off one game? It's outrageous to me because Rodgers' first game, I was there for that, his first start. I suppose, when Favre left, because I think he started that game in Dallas that we talked about last week. But I was at that game. There was a couple throws, but his receivers bailed him out. And Love had the same thing. It's a young quarterback in a hostile environment. One of the hardest to play in.
Yeah, that was I'll start off with the media. I mean, it's complete BS of how bad some of the takes are. I mean, I saw this one tweet of this guy saying, oh, there's nothing that Rodgers coming back can't solve. It's like, so he solves all of our special teams problems? Like, no, like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, as much as I don't want to blame one side of the ball, I mean, special teams, missed 2 field goals, muff a punt on, like you said, like 10-yard line that costs us another 3 points. So, I mean, that's 9 points right there, completely shifts the game. And, like, you just got to look at that, like, how do you blame Jordan Love on that? Like, everything just going on Jordan Love right now. And it's just such, excuse my language, it was such bullshit. It's already just BS. I mean, like, he didn't play as good as we thought he was going to play. No, he didn't. I mean, we thought he would play a little better. He didn't. It's okay, though. I mean, it's his first start. Again, I saw this one YouTube video, this guy saying it. He kind of like, I can't remember the channel called, but he does a pretty good job of breaking down quarterbacks play. And he said he looks like a guy who's a backup quarterback that needs to come in. He looks like a backup quarterback, and that's exactly what he is. Expecting him to drive down like Rodgers and win games. It's just not going to happen right now. It's just not going to happen. I don't know what everyone expects, but he played as well as I thought he was gonna. Maybe a little bit better, maybe a little bit worse, but it is what it is.
So, and Alec, I want to get your opinion here too quick, but it was baffling to me that people were saying, "Oh, well, it's understandable for Fields and Lawrence and Lance and whatever. This is their first year. Jordan Love's been there 18 months." There was a pandemic. He did not have a preseason. We said in the preseason, this is his rookie year. And yeah, he missed some throws, but did you see Mahomes? Mahomes missed some throws too. This is year 3. What's his excuse? Like, this narrative out there that, no, he doesn't have it. I saw tweets that, oh, well, Green Bay should cut him at halftime and send Crosby down the river too. It blows my mind. I was so frustrated the last 2 days because of all of this Love slander. And I might be a Jordan Love apologist, but Alec, am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. I mean, honestly, you broke it down pretty well with the stat lines and how much pressure he's under. I was actually unaware about that free blocker, the 14 times that we had a free rusher come through. I was unaware of that. So I mean, that's
it's wild.
Yeah, it's completely wild. I think that realistically, what he needs more than anything else is the ability to be able to shift the offensive line. And maybe that's why Royce Newman looked as bad as he did. Maybe he's just not used to adjusting the blocking technique or the blocking schemes before the play, depending on the rushes that he's seeing. Maybe he's just not good enough at reading the pressures yet to know, okay, they're showing blitz, but they're backing out, or okay, they're really coming at me on this play. Maybe that's what it is, and he's just having an issue there. But I don't know. I thought that he played well. I thought that the defense is really the highlight of this game. That defense looked like a championship defense. I mean, it really did. I haven't seen them perform that well. I don't remember when was the last time I saw them that well. And remind yourselves that their 2 best corners are out in that game.
And their best pass rushers out.
Yeah.
Darius isn't back yet.
And Clark was out for a majority of the game, right? Wasn't he out for the second half?
Yeah, back issue. By the way, he practiced today, so he looks like he's trending upward. We didn't say that in the notes, but that's a note to throw in there.
Yeah, but anyway, to make the long story short, I think that Love did well. I think that there's definitely stuff that he needs to work on. I think that most of it's pre-snap. But yeah, that's my take on that. But as far as Crosby goes, is this really Crosby's fault, or is it the holder? Because you saw him yelling at, is it Jorgensen that holds too? The
Bojorquez? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sorry.
It's all good. He's got a goofy ass name. It's fine.
Yeah. Is he the one that holds for punts too? Because I saw him screaming at him after the first miss, and then the second miss, you could see he didn't turn the ball again. So is it Crosby's fault? Is it the holder's fault? Is it the new snapper coming in? I don't know, but we've got to fucking fix special teams. It's ridiculous.
The first one was on the holder. The ball was not spun at all. Crosby basically kicked laces. And, I mean, you could see. And the second one, the line just got blown up. I mean, there was no shot. And he didn't spin the ball again, you saw on the replay. But, I mean, that ball didn't have a shot anyway because Crosby kicked it. And I'm surprised someone didn't just, take it out of Bojorquez's hands and run it back. I mean, they were there that quick. So the special teams thing, and apparently at one point in the game, LaFleur wanted to take, and I want to get your opinions on this one too. Amari Rodgers has not looked comfortable back there at all. I heard something today that I don't know if it's true or not, that a rumor that he doesn't want to. I do not know if that's true. That is reckless speculation on my behalf, but I heard it. He doesn't look like he wants to. There's just no confidence back there. And at this point, from your punt returner, with all the rules and stuff, you just want someone to catch the goddamn ball. Put Cobb back there. At least he knows how to do it. He was effective for a long time. Just have someone go back there so he can catch the goddamn ball. Would you? So I guess, Dustin, would you make a change at punt returner? Because I think at this point I would. I've been underwhelmed by Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, I would. I mean, also, fun fact: we are the worst ranked special teams in the NFL. No surprise there, but fun fact.
It's got to be by a wide margin too.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's like I think the Pro Football Focus said we were down by like 3 points or something like that from Seattle. Like it was fairly wide margin. I mean, it's awful.
So
But
this
yeah,
game's
I mean-
going to be the toilet bowl for special teams on Sunday.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Just
Must
catch
have
the
Seattle.
ball or let it run into the end zone. Or you know what? Let them down at the 2. I would rather take my chances there than giving them an opportunity to get the ball back on their own 2.
Yeah, it's something definitely to address, and you should be like, I mean, in my eyes, if Rodgers doesn't want to do it, it's like, why? It's like that's really one of your own like only things to be on the team for is to catch punts right now. Like you don't really play a whole lot on offense. Like why are you denying it and why don't you want to do it? Like have a part of the team. But yeah, I mean, I would just put Cobb back there if you really don't want to do it. Screw it.
Well, and I get like that. It's hard because he is a rookie too, so I want to give him a little bit of leeway. But we all saw one thing at Clemson, and we were all really excited about what that was going to translate to, but it hasn't. He has been non-existent. They don't even use him. The game that they only had like 3 active receivers, him being one of them, I think he got an end around and that was it. Like he is not. I mean, now we're not at practice every day, but he's non-existent.
Well, here's my take on it, and I mean this might be true, it might be not. I feel like he might just need a little bit of a confidence boost. I mean, realistically, when you're coming out of college and you were the guy at Clemson, and you come out of college and you're having to kind of deal with, oh, okay, I'm not as good as these people. Oh, I went from being the first or maybe the second best receiver on the team to being like the 4th or 5th best receiver on the team. And you know what I think would really help his confidence? Bringing in a guy with some swagger like Odell Beckham Jr., teaching him the ropes, showing him how to be a little bit swaggy, giving him a little bit of, teaching him a little bit of that attitude.
Yes.
All jokes aside, though, does anybody know where Tyler Irving is? Like, I liked him. I liked him back there. I liked him returning punts. I liked him. I liked him. I thought they had a good spot on the squad. And I mean, realistically, what would it take to get him back? It'd probably be a vet minimum deal. Just come back and take some kid show. Come back and take some punts. That's all it's got to be.
So I Googled Tyler Irvin, and let me tell you, there is like nothing. It's all his stats. There's like no trace of him. I mean, I'm looking at his Twitter account. Oh, he's still roaming the earth. He tweeted on November 5th. It's been a while. What's Twitter like these days? So that's what Tyler Irvin's up to. So clearly he does not have a job. But I thought, is he on IR or something? I feel like maybe he's not in the Packers. What do you call it? Sphere? I don't know, whatever. Doesn't really matter. I have talked way too much about Tyler Irvin. One thing before we get to our next segment, because I forgot, I've worked really hard on some new imaging that I'm going to debut. There is no breaking news, but we now have a breaking news imaging, which I'm quite excited about. So please, as we get set to do the Bag of Chaos next, enjoy the new imaging.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent news story,
Breaking news.
and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen right now!
Yeah, I was really proud of that.
That's
Man,
wonderful.
It just made me smile. So, yeah, there's no breaking news. I was going to do that for the Odell Beckham update from Ian Rappaport, and I was hoping that there was going to be some news while we were taping today because that would be awesome to do some breaking news. But it's going to be a couple days as we discussed. But let's not get into all that anymore. It is time for the Bag of Chaos. We all hate this blasted thing because one of us at the end of whoever has the worst record at the end of the year will have to do something for our YouTube page. And I'm not sure that a lot of people want to do that at this point. So to recap, all three of us are 2-1. All three. So I guess, Alec, you lost last week, but you've been going first. So let's just keep that train moving. So here you go. Alec, you're up first. Oh, you know
Come
what?
on. No Jags, no Jags, no Jags.
I don't have the lines up. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, they won last week. How dare you?
Oh, hold on. Before we get into this, Alec, how did your team, the Rams, lose at home to the Titans? Can you explain that to me? You were complaining off air, and I feel like before we dig into our picks this week, what happened?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Great. Here's the thing. I don't know.
My boy Ryan Tannehill must have really came in hot. Dustin knows. I've been a Ryan Tannehill fan since he came into the league. Everybody called him a bust in Miami. I saw his talent. I knew that he could be decent enough to lead a team if he had good talent around him.
Keyword decent enough.
Yeah, he's not great. Like let's not get that wrong. He's not great, but you are just good enough to be able to lead a team. Congratulations.
It reminds me of Friday Night Lights. You know, the quarterback just giving the ball to the booby. Just give the ball to the booby.
Oh, and he can pass. And he can pass.
Our one of the people watching tonight, his name is Kevin. Thank you for commenting and playing along with us. Said Adrian Peterson happened. I totally forgot he was on the Titans. I saw he scored. I totally forgot that was a thing. Okay, enough Titans talk. Let's just get at it. So this week's line's brought to you by SportingNews.com. Let's get into it. Alec, I know you also like a good rummage.
I love the jostling of the helmets.
I have a helmet for you. It is the Chargers. They are at home. They are 2.5-point favorites against our division rival, the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh my God, I'm taking those Chargers. Justin Herbert's gonna have a field day.
I mean, that was such a confusing game. I had the Minnesota-Baltimore game in my Big Five, and I lost that game because it went stupid overtime. But the Minnesota team confuses me. Are they good? Are they bad? Can someone explain the Vikings to me?
So here's the Vikings for you. Dalvin Cook. If you stop them, they're bad.
Oh, I thought you were going to take that in a different direction.
No, hey, those are allegations. Nothing's been proven yet. This is America. You know, he probably did that shit, but I'm not going to say anything about it until he's proven guilty. Anyway,
I didn't even read the whole story. I just saw the headline. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Whatever. We're a Packers show. Don't worry about it.
But anyway, the Minnesota Vikings are, if you can beat Dalvin Cook, you can beat the Vikings. If you can't beat Dalvin Cook, you can't beat the Vikings. Kirk Cousins isn't going to do anything spectacular. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Well, I mean, they have weapons, though. This is what I don't understand. Like, they have the talent to be good. I mean, their defense is aging a little bit, and their head coach seems to be incompetent. But I don't understand the Vikings at all. But all right, so Alec has the Chargers. He kept them. So Dustin, you are up. Give it a good jostle. And I know you also like a good rummage. So all right, I have a helmet. Oh, I have two helmets. Okay, I have one helmet. You have the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals, I think, have a bye. I don't see them on the sheet. Can anyone confirm? Well, this is the beauty of doing it live. I don't know. Okay. Just a quick Google search, and this is good stalling.
I love the Bengals because Jamar Chase is one of the best young talents I've seen in this league since Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, I think they have a bye.
They do have a bye. So, Dustin, do you want to throw it back, or do you want to keep your bye?
I would like to keep that.
All right,
this is cahoots. You guys, this is cahoots.
Oh, yeah, says the guy that got the Cowboys when they had a bye.
Yeah, but you guys, but I'm not in the AJ Brault family, you know, and like technically speaking, I'm not part of the family. You guys are basically brothers.
Well, first of all, you got the Chargers at home against the Vikings. I would feel pretty good about that. There's that. Also, thank you for being a good filibuster for our live show. And
course.
thank you to Kevin, who also in our chat confirmed that they have a bye. So thank you, Kevin, for doing that. All right.
No, I think he was logging off. He was saying goodbye. He was saying bye.
Oh, well then bye, Kevin. Later, skater. All right. Good rummage. I also like a good rummage. What do we got here? The Titans. So the Titans are playing at home against New Orleans. They are 3-point favorites. Ooh, I don't know how to feel about that. Tennessee's been on fire, so I should keep this. But why is that line only 3 points? Can we talk about that for a second? 3 points seems awfully close. Trevor Siemian is doing it for Vegas? Like,
I think that it's
not
just
Vegas, Jesus Christ, New Orleans. I don't know why it's said Vegas.
Oh, I thought that you meant like the Vegas bettors.
That's probably what I did mean. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little all over the place. Again, unhealthy relationship with the Odell Beckham Twitter thing this week, so I'm a little all over the place. So, yeah, 3 seems awfully small though.
I think that it's probably because because of that whole Tampa Bay game.
Maybe, but Brady never plays good in New Orleans, so
True.
I feel like this is a trap. But they've been red hot, so I'm going to keep the Titans this week. I don't really feel good about that, though. I not that I feel great about any of these. I mean, the Jets have won a couple games, 2 out of their last 3, for God's sake. But, all right, I'm taking Tennessee, and that will do it for this week's Bag of Chaos. So that is fun. We are all 2-1, so hopefully we keep the good times rolling. And speaking of good times rolling, it's everyone's favorite segment on this show. It is the time for this week's.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Are you ready for a showdown?
He had the craziest look in his eyes. And at one point he said, let's get it off.
More than anything else, because this guy is a has-been.
First on this. That is blasphemous.
Because it's time for the takeoff.
Are you joking me? We're going to be spicy, no?
And speaking of spicy things, my father, shout out to him, is watching again this week. He commented, grow a set of nuts and just do it, in regards to me taking the Titans. So obviously this must have been before I made my pick, but I grew a set. I took the Titans. I don't feel great about it though.
Made Pops proud.
I did. I don't even know what to say. I'm a little flustered. Again, it's been a hell of a week. All right. No, we didn't do a takeoff last week, so we have no defending champion this week. So, Dustin, why don't we start with you? What is your hot take this week?
All right, Alex, I told you before the show I got a spicy take. Maybe idiotic, but it's damn spicy.
Ready.
All right, so I believe that Mike White will lead the Jets to the playoff, not this year, but next year.
Okay. I just about lost my shit.
I'm still going to lose my shit. That's ridiculous. It's the Jets.
Hold on. It is the Jets. But how much more ridiculous is that take than your Taylor Heineke takes?
Hey.
They're the same dude.
Hey.
I mean, what do you defend yourself?
Heineke showed up when it counted in the NFC divisional round, man.
And he lost.
Put some respect on that name. He went
Yeah.
toe to toe with the Giant.
And he
Dustin
lost.
brings up a good point. He showed up when it mattered and lost. Like, Taylor Heineke and Mike White are interchangeable. I think. I don't know how to feel about this take because I feel like I need to see more of Mike White because I feel like the Jets may have stumbled into something. Or, maybe Zach Wilson is just that bad. I have no idea. But what I will say is I think you're nuts. I do not see the Jets making the playoffs in the next 5 years, at least. I do like their coach, Saleh. I do think he kind of knows what's going on, but much like when a new coach takes over a new college program, it's going to take a couple years to get that ship turned around. So it is spicy. Let me tell you, it is a 4 definitely on the spice meter. But leave that shit alone. I want nothing to do with that. Get that out of my life. That is a 3 from me.
5 and leave it. There's no fucking way that that's happening, Dustin. I mean, come on, Bob.
Guys. Just see the guy.
Actually, I did my math.
Like hard, man. Come on.
I just want to clarify. I did my math wrong. So I gave Dustin a 4. I left it, so it's -2. So you get a 2 for me. And then, so Alec, I'm sorry. What was your score? Did you say?
I said 5 and leave it.
Okay, so I did have that right. All right. So Dustin gets a 2.5 this week. Taylor, and again, commented, Taylor Heineke should be Justin Fields' towel boy. Yeah. Taylor Heineke should not be a starting quarterback in the league. If you need him for a game or something, fine. But this, I don't understand.
Man, I'm sick of all these brawls. They're such Bears fans. I mean, we should just call you guys the Brawlty Bears bunch. You know,
I am literally wearing in the Zoom a Green Bay Packers sweatshirt.
Yeah, that's just I don't know, man. I'm not gonna back down on my Taylor Heineke takes. I just think that he needs to be put in the right system. I mean, you put him with Belichick, there's no way he doesn't duplicate what Brady did in New England.
Brady?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Are you talking Joe Brady or Tom Brady?
Thomas Brady.
Is that your hot take? Because
No,
that just gets a 0 for me. Because that's just idiot.
That's not my hot take. My hot take is similar to Dustin's because it involves next year, but it also contains this year as well. I am going to say that I think that Jamar Chase is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year this year by a landslide. I think that it's going to be, if they do unanimous votes, I think that it will be a unanimous decision. But I think that next year he is going to fail to break 1,000 yards receiving. I think he's going to have a slump year. I don't think he's going to do terrible. I think that it'll probably be 800s, maybe 900 yards receivings with like 6, 7, 8 touchdowns. But I think he's going to have a major slump next year.
I don't hate that. I feel like, and I don't have the numbers in front of me. Maybe I could pull that up here while I'm just blabbering. Is Justin Jefferson? I put them kind of on the same plane, talent-wise at least. Is Justin Jefferson having a decent year? Because that would be the template. I don't think he's not blowing up like he has been. I'm looking at his game log. He's only got 200-yard games.
Wow.
I mean, Chase had that in like the first 3 weeks. So that would be the template for me. Although I think Burrow is better than Cousins. I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you a solid 3. Take it, leave it, whatever. It's going to be a 3. I think it's a middle of the road take because I can see it, but I don't really have a strong opinion on it. So I'm going to give it a 3. I'm going to settle at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I could see it happening. Him running to a slump. I really could. I mean, like you said, Alex, it's kind of a middle road take, though. I could see it happening, but at the same time, like I couldn't see it happen. I don't know. It's kind of middle road here.
I'm confused. Like it's not hot. Like it's not the blazing at Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't even know if it's the mild at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hey,
honey barbecue, maybe.
Listen, I put some Tabasco on that bitch. I said that he was going to be a unanimous Offensive Player of the Year this year.
I agree with you there. I don't think he's going to win competition.
And then fail to break 1,000 yards next year. It's 17 games in a season, AJ Brault.
Okay. Well, I forgot that there's 17 games in a season. That's different because now he can, you know what I'm saying? Like, and no one probably does because I didn't say anything. But his production can be less per game, and he still might squeak to 1,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it a 3.
Great analysis.
I'm sorry, I don't have much sin. I really don't.
Let's go to our expert, Dustin Burgundy. What is your opinion? That was wonderful.
I'm sorry I let you down.
That's what we do best here on the old lockdown. Anyway, do you have another opinion outside of
Nope. Three
Okay.
and I'll take it. That's all I gotta say. I don't got much to say on it.
Okay, moving on. Oh, I'm excited for mine this week because I'm going to talk about my guy. I think we just saw it, boys. The old JF, my guy, Justin Fields. I just want to talk now. Let's just everyone settle down. I see the shaking of the heads. Let's everyone just maybe calm down. Did you see what he did on Monday night? I saw it. I was like, oh, okay. I get it. Against a good Pittsburgh. I mean, TJ Watt had 3 sacks. Just 3. Nothing small. Small game for him. And yet, he should have won that game. Now, I will say, I wasn't super impressed by the Chicago offense. And I think that's his coach. But, as commenters come in, sweet God, enough already. You know what? No, here's why I'm doing this, because I can't do this for Jordan Love. Because if Jordan Love was going to play the rest of the year, I would have the same opinion. I think the coaching staff let Jordan Love down. I think the coaching staff is currently still letting Justin Fields down. I think he's got it. So here's my take. He is going to make, in his career, 8, count them, 8 Pro Bowls.
What?
Just silence. Remember, this is also an audio medium. One of you has to talk.
I will speak first. First of all, it's basically a popularity competition. It's nothing more. Pro Bowls have nothing to do with how good he plays.
I just
He
saying.
can be literal dog shit and still make the Pro Bowl.
This is what I'm saying, but he's good enough. He makes electric plays. He's mobile. Do we remember? I mean, he's not Colin Kaepernick. I don't think he's Michael Vick because those are kind of different. I would say he has the legs of Kaepernick. Like, he's got that mobility. He's really smooth. But he's got the arm of Michael Vick, if that makes any sense. Vick had a cannon. Fields, I mean, he's not super accurate yet, but it took Josh Allen a while. It'll take Jordan Love a while. But dude's got a cannon.
Nowhere in all of your rambling did you make any sense. I feel that everybody in the podcast and listening is now dumber having listened to you. I award you 0 points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Fine, I'll take a 0. You know what? I'm going to start counting. I'm keeping the receipts. Actually, speaking of scoring, Dustin, I never got your score for Alec.
I said 3 and I'll take it.
Well, you don't have
because I had 0 input on that.
Yeah, your analysis was, I didn't hear his score.
I think you misheard him. I think that he was trying to say ham. He really liked ham. I think that that's what he was saying.
That makes more sense now. Fine, I'll take a 0. Dustin, what do you give me?
Yeah, it's going to be a big 0, bud.
Fine, that is a lockdown corner first. I don't need any more analysis. You two can go to hell. And congratulations, Alec. You are this week's takeoff champion. You are this week's master debater.
First off, I want to say, hey, this is a kid's show, Alex. Don't be telling us to go to the HD double toothpick.
What just happened there? Did you just get tased? Are you okay? Is everything okay down by you?
It's all good.
Fine. I'll take my 0. Alec, you're the master debater. And now, exciting times, because it is time for this week's...
It's time to get wacky. It's time for Random Packer of
week.
So many options going through the years. So many. Who wants to go first for this week's Random Packer of the Week?
Alec, you can go.
More dead air. I love it.
I feed off of it. So for me, this week's Random Packer of the Week holds a very special place in my heart. I loved watching this Random Packer play for the short period that was his prime of about 4 games. My Random Packer of the Week is Charlie Peppra, safety.
Ooh. You know what? First of all, yes, but you also stole that from me. I did that like a month ago.
I hate this.
I heard that name. It made me smile, and I'm like, wait a second.
Has Aaron Campman been done yet?
No, he has not been.
Okay, I'll switch it then. Let's go Aaron Campman. That dude was such a stud, and he was so unheard of. I mean, that dude would get like, I don't know, 14 sacks in a season, and nobody would even blink an eye about him. I don't know. He was an absolute stud. But Charlie, man, I would love to buy Charlie a beer. Campman, man, I would love for you to come back and do some edge rushing for us while he's on his elongated recovery here.
I mean, he's been out of the league for almost a decade now.
Well, you know what they say. It's like riding a bike.
What do they say? Please enlighten us.
It's like riding a bike. Favre came back.
Aaron Campman's body was betraying him before he retired. Like, there's no way he would get clocked by one of these dudes now, and it would just be over. And that makes me sad. So, Dustin, please bring this show back up for the love of God.
Sure. My Random Packer Player of the Week is Red Mac, wide receiver, 1966.
Why do you play this game so much differently than we do?
Because
I hate so much about what you decide to be.
He was from Notre Dame. Guys, we got to have some fun with this. Isn't that not the point? Do you want me to give you some lame one? Do you want me to just give you an original one?
No, I would like you to tell us statistically who this Red Mac was.
Well, like I said, if you'd have been listening,
the first question is, what year did he play?
If you'd have been listening, I said those stats. I said wide receiver, 1966.
That's
he
not
came
a
from
stat.
Notre Dame.
That's not a stat. None of that was a stat.
And I'm about to give you the stats right now. Right now. So apparently he did not play a single down for the Green Bay Packers, but he was a part of the team.
Oh.
So there you go.
Is that the equivalent of picking a water boy for your Random Packer of the Week?
It pretty much is.
It feels like it was a cop-out.
But it's like Taylor Heineke of the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, my God, you and Taylor Heineke. Oh, God. My Random Packer of the Week is also a wide receiver. You may recognize this name. I'm going with former Packer great and played for the Cowboys for a long time, Terry Glenn. And I got Stoneface in the chat. Absolutely nothing.
Cricket.
Yeah. Do you guys not remember Terry Glenn? Oh, my God. In NFL Blitz, it was like that really violent football game, the old arcade game. Terry Glenn was my go-to guy. He was my security blanket.
I don't remember that player, but I do remember that game. And I'll let you know, I feel like that game is one that definitely needs to be rebooted, remastered, make it happen. I mean, I'm sick of Madden at this point. Let me go out there and break people's arms in NFL Blitz. Let me get my leg broken and just decide to get juiced up and get back in the game. I mean, come on now. Let's do it.
I think that company also made Slugfest, the baseball game. You could just you could get a base hit, stand on first, and then just start clobbering the first baseman. It was one of my favorite games of all time. Bring that one back while you're at it. I think the company was Midway Games. Get your shit together, Midway Games. And before, I don't know why I went on that tangent. My fault. Sorry. before we wrap up the show, I have a "What would you do" segment for you two. I have a question because yesterday, my lovely father and I went to a Marvel Studios Eternals. My movie review on that is it was okay. I wasn't overly impressed, but that's not the point. Now at movie theaters, at least around here, you have the assigned seating, whatever. And we get our seats, we walk to our seats. There was a lady sitting in our seats. Now, in the olden days, and it was $5 Tuesday. That also is part of this. So we just said, whatever, we'll find different seats. It was sold out. So if it wasn't sold out, what would you two have done? Would you have found other seats, or would you have asked this lady to move? Because we ended up not having a choice because it was packed. But I felt bad because I feel like if it wasn't, if it was just a random day, we would have just did whatever. But what would you guys have done in that situation? I thought way too much about this.
So I feel like I'm really torn here. I'm not torn as to what I would do. I know what I would do. I'm torn as to how your dad reacted. I met the guy. What a terrible use of the words that I'm speaking. I met the guy on Saturday. Seems like a really nice guy.
Super nice.
Real nice, yeah. And the common Wisconsin etiquette is, let me squeeze past you there. I'll just take the next open seat. So
that's what we did originally.
Yeah, part of me feels like that's the guy that he would be, but part of me goes, nah, old-timey people, they want conflict. They enjoy conflict. They're going to tell him to move. I'm an old soul. I would have told her ass to move. I would have been like, get out of here. This is my seat. I paid for the seat. You can move, lady.
The whole assigned seating thing it's a brand new world. Now, it turns out she was just in the wrong seat. She was in the one to our right. But still, it was one of those things. And this happened to us a different time. This was probably, 6-7 years ago. The family went, and we just were like, it's an empty theater. There's only 4 people in the theater, literally. And this lady, we were in her seats, not thinking it was going to matter. She yelled at us. She was legitimately upset. Those are our seats. And I just thought that was an odd choice, considering there were 6 people in the movie. The entire theater. But those were her seats, damn it.
Maybe it was the best acoustics for the whole thing. She really wanted to get all the sound. You never know.
Maybe. I don't know.
I've got bad hearing. Maybe you are the real asshole in this scenario.
I'll tell you what, I am that lady. You know what? I paid for these seats, damn it. If life didn't have rules, people would be driving on the wrong side of the road. You'd be shooting people and getting an ice cream cone for it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I hate to equate murder into sitting.
I was going to say that was quite the drastic leap from someone sat in my seat to murder sprees, but I'm glad you made that jump. I'm not worried about you at all.
I'm in constant pain. Anyway, I don't know. I would have moved her for sure, and I'm not mad at the lady moving, because you know what? If you paid for an apple and you're handed an onion, you just got to remember that onions aren't fruit. So that's the way that I look at it.
That was an odd way to go, but
that's
where I want to end the show today. That was just the perfect cherry on top of this weird hour-long show that we've done, but it has been a blast. So if any OBJ news breaks, we'll try and do an emergency episode, but who knows? We're all busy and we all have lives, so we'll do our best. So, but make sure if any news breaks, you come and find us on our YouTube channel, subscribe there. Make sure you hit that like button below. Let us know how we're doing. Make sure you get on Twitter. Follow us at Corner Lockdown. You can also follow us individually on Twitter. Our Twitter handles are up on the live stream screen. And obviously follow us on Facebook. That seems to be where we do most of our posting. So make sure you get all the juicy content that we have pumping out for you there. Big Al's Big Five this week. It's coming back. 2 and 3 yet again. We've done this for 3 weeks, and I can't seem to get over 500. So that's great. I want a quick shout out to Cleveland for I thought Cincinnati 2.5 at home. I'm like, that seems relatively good, and that did not happen. So anyway, if you want to set your money on fire, keep following me on Fridays and Saturdays and just blow your money away. That's what I'm here to help you with. So anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure you listen, subscribe, follow us on Apple and Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. You already know where to find us on social media. Thank you for watching on the live stream. Thank you for listening on the podcast episode, and we will be back next week with hopefully a W and maybe a new wide receiver, but we'll see you then.